Yo, man, what's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy, Bowels Movement Weight. Them boys, Super Bowl champs, man. 2020 Super Bowl champs, man. Um, it was a hell of a season, man. Like, it was crazy, man. Like, I've just been in shock, man, for like the whole week, pretty much. Um, I still can't believe it, man. Even though they had a good, we were stacked. We were stacked on both sides of the ball. So, but for them to win it the way they did was like crazy. Like for them to shut Pat Mahomes down. Um, the offense been great the last 3 years since Pat took over, and that was the first time they didn't score no touchdown. So big ups to the Buccaneers defense on that. Um, I wanted it to speak on our 2020 season. Um, I don't know how long this video gonna be. It might be half an hour. I don't know, but Buccaneers went 11-5 on the season, uh, with no real off season training and training camp. Like it was crazy, man. Like due to COVID, but they got it together, man, and they pulled through. Uh, they lost 5 games during the regular season. They lost to the Saints, the Bears. They lost to the Saints twice. They lost to the Bears, the Rams, and the Chiefs. All playoff teams, and Buccaneers beat everybody else. Um, the first game, I think they was nervous. Um, they could have played a little better in the first half. The second half they played a little better, but the Saints been together longer than the Bucs than the current team anyway, so they played us better. So we took a that week. Buccaneers came back and they won the next 3 games. That was against Carolina, Denver, and the Chargers. The Chargers game, they had to come back. Justin Herbert was killing us, but Brady came back in the second half. Denver, they pretty much led the whole game, and Carolina, they're not that good yet. So I'm not surprised that they beat them though. So they went 3-1 the first 4 weeks of the season. The Bears game, oh man, that was on a Thursday night. Did I go to work that night? Matter of fact, I did go to work that night. This is the first time that I didn't take off to watch the Buccaneers play this year, which is crazy. But yeah, the Bears they took a L. They lost by 1 point. Offense couldn't get going, man. That was the game with Brady. He put up the four fingers. He threw it. It was another down, but that was fourth down. That was a tough loss because I felt that they should have won that game. Buccaneers should have won that game. Straight up, we should have won that game. The Green Bay game, that was crazy because the Packers were undefeated. Going into the game, I believe they were 4-0, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and Buccaneers just destroyed them. Green Bay went up 10-0 in that game, and they scored 38 unanswered. They picked off Rodgers twice. At that point of the season, Rodgers didn't have a pick, so they picked him off twice. in that game. They was sacking him. They was roughing him up, man. Sue was out there. He was ready to fight. All that shit. Then they played the Raiders and the Giants. The Raiders game, it was close, I think, going into the third quarter. But the Buccaneers turned up in that game, especially in that second half. They just went off, man, in that second half. But they were 5-2 after the Raiders game. Giants game that was on Monday Night Football. That was a close game. That was close. The Buccaneers barely got out of there with a W. They barely got out of there. And I think I was telling people to not sleep on the Giants, because the Giants, they beat us last year at home. So I was like, yo, do not sleep on Daniel Jones, man, because Daniel Jones is a hell of a quarterback when he played Tampa Bay. This game, he messed up a couple times, but if he made just a few throws, the Buccaneers would have took an L there. They'd have been 5-3, but they did pull it out, so they went 6-2. The Saints game, that was on Sunday Night Football, primetime television, and we just crapped the bed, 38-3. It was bad, man. It was just a bad overall game from start to finish, and we barely got the field goal. It felt like a blowout. It felt like we got shut out, and that's pretty much what it was, man. The Saints just destroyed us. That was Antonio Brown's first game too, but they destroyed us, man. I think after the Raiders game, I believe that's when they said that they was signing Antonio Brown. So they went and signed Antonio Brown, and he was eligible to return week 9. So that was a shocker when they signed Antonio Brown. That was kind of like the turning point of the season. The Carolina game, they won by 23. That was the game Ronald Jones had that long ass touchdown run. Brady was efficient. Defense stepped up. And this was after the blowout, so they had to come back with a better game, man, because that was just terrible. The Rams game, very close game. Well, the Rams game and the Saints game, and the Chiefs game, those were games that could have went either way. I'm talking about the first Saints game, the Rams game, and the Chiefs game. Them games could have went either way. Even though the Buccaneers lost by 11 to the Saints, that game was a little close compared to the second Saints game. And the Rams and the Chiefs game, even though they lost by 3, they could have won. But the way that game was going was they ain't winning this shit. You know what I mean? It was just bad, bro. It was just bad, man. I wish we played way better against them two teams, the Rams and the Chiefs, because they could have won that shit. But I think the Chiefs game was the one that opened their eyes. That's when they just started clicking, because they didn't lose a game since. And that was November 29th. So Buccaneers won every game since then. They won all 8 games since that L to the Chiefs. Tyreek Hill, he killed them, man. He had 200 something yards. He had 200 yards in the first quarter. some crazy ass numbers, man. Like some crazy ass Madden 21 numbers. Like Tyreek just killed us, bro. Like, it was just bad. It was just a bad overall performance. They lost by 3. Like if like somebody that didn't watch the game would just see the scores, be like, they lost by 3. But for us, like we watched the game and it felt like we lost by 20. You know what I mean? Like it was bad. That game was bad. That was very pitiful, man. And they were 7-5, and we like, hold up, like what's going on here? Like they done made all these moves, and they only 7-5. So they went on the bye week. They came back, played Minnesota, Atlanta, Detroit, and Atlanta, and they won all 4 games. They blew the Lions out. That was on the Saturday. They just blew them out. The Falcons, the first Falcon game was close. Minnesota played them tough. The second Falcon game, they blew them out. At the end of the day, they can't mess with them at at that point. Mike Evans, he set a record for first 7 seasons in the league. He has 1,000 yards receiving. He broke Randy Moss' record. So that was good. Mike Evans did it, and then the next play, I believe it was the next play. He injures himself, like a knee injury, like just like out of nowhere. And I know it was raining, so the field was messed up a little bit. And Mike set the record. Then the next play, Brady threw to him again, and then he messed his knee up. And we like, hold up, man. Soon as we about to make these playoffs, because they already done clinched it the week before against the Lions. So we like, hold up, man. Don't tell me we done lost Big Mike, and Mike been here since 2014. He done season 2-14. You know what I'm saying? So. So that was rough seeing Mike go down, because like we didn't know what happened, man. Like we didn't know if it was his ACL or whatever, man. Like we were just like, yo, man, like even though we still got Chris Godwin and Antonio and Gronk, but we still need Mike out there. You know what I mean? So that was rough seeing Mike go down like that. But he did set the record for 7 straight 1,000-yard seasons to begin a career. The defense stepped up a lot down the stretch. Even though they had some close games, but Devin White, man, he just, I've been his supporter, man, since like before the 2019 draft. I was just like, yo, like we need to get this guy. And he's just been nothing but amazing to me. These last 2 years, Devontae been most fans, man. They they fucks with Devontae, man. Like and he been through Greg Schiano and Lovey and Dirk Cutter. Like he's been there and done that, bro. Like I remember when this is his second year in the league, and he had a penalty against the Jets. He fucked up. He had like a late hit out of bounds, and the Jets went down, kicked the field goal, and they won the game. And fans was online. They was like, "Yo, like get rid of Levante David." Like they was real mad at him, and I'm like, "Yo, like he's one of our best players right now, even though this is his second year." Like we gotta keep guys like that around, and he just been here the whole time. It was just him and Gerald for a while, and then Mike Evans came through, and then we lost Gerald, and then like Levante's still here. Like he's just Like even though they've been losing a lot, you know, like we didn't hear that from Levante. Like he just still went out there every week and just balled out. So so that was the first guy I was happy for when they won Super Bowl because I'm like, yo, like he been here through the most. Like he like because I remember when fans wanted him gone after that Jets game. Like, you know what I mean? Like that 2013 Jets game, I think that was week one. It was week one. We had Reeves, because Reeves went back to New Jersey. I remember all that shit. And Devontae messed up. And fans wanted him gone. I was just like, yo, like, we can't get rid of no guy like that. So when they finally won Super Bowl, I was like, yo, like he was the first guy I was happy for. Him, Mike, Golston, like the guys that's been here, you know what I'm saying? Like the guys that been on the team. Um, yeah, so the Buccaneers, they finished the regular season with 4 straight wins. So they went to 11-5. The Saints the Saints won the division. Um, when I was looking at the playoff seeding, I was like, yo, like the way it was setting up, I'm like, yo, like we're gonna have to. They was gonna have to play either one anyway, Green Bay or New Orleans. Like, and I was like, yo, they already beat the shit out of Green Bay earlier. The Saints, they owe them an ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, even though we had to play the wild card game, I was like, all right, well, once we get past that, like, it's gonna be on like popcorn. So, like the first playoff game, actually Washington played them pretty tough, man. Like they played them pretty tough. Like I ain't gonna hold y'all. I was kind of snapping during that game. Like I was like, yo, like, you know, like the Buccaneers won by 8, but that was a close game. Like, that was a game we was like, hold up, like we might not even be playing the Saints. We might be going home after this. So they, I wasn't surprised that it was close because Buccaneers been in. I mean, like, they've been in some close games. Like they had some close games this season. Um, but Washington, they play real tough. They got this quarterback Heineke, man. He was doing all types of shit in that game. He was he was just running around making plays, man. And Buccaneers had to hold on, man. Like they had to hold on at the end because Heineke, if like he got that ball back, man, he probably would have did something at the end, but the Buccaneers moved on, and I was like, when they announced that Saints game, I was like, like we gotta beat these motherfuckers, like. The last game was just embarrassing. Like they beat the shit out of Tampa Bay, bro. Like, listen, man, that was bad. You know what I mean? Like, motherfuckers like, oh, like the Buccaneers might not be that team because they lost something bad like that. Um, the Saints game was very important, man. That was a very important game, not only for the Bucs, but you know, because like I'm trying to put it into the best ways possible. Like the way that game went, you know, if Cook didn't fumble, well, if like Winfield didn't make that play on Cook, we would not be talking. I would not be doing this video right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, be like, yo, but nah, like when Winfield made that play on Cook, man, I was like, yo. that was a turning point of the game. Buccaneers was down 7, and that turned the game around. Man, Devin White turned up. Like after that fumble recovery for Devin White, that's when his intensity went up. Like he already be snapping in the games, but yo, from that point on, it was a whole different team. Like yo, I was shocked, man. I was shocked when they beat the Saints, yo. I was very shocked because the Saints been giving us hell. They've been giving us hell, man. Like they've been they've been beating us down, man. They've been beating us down. I'm talking about under Sean Payton and Drew Brees. They have a hell of a record against Tampa Bay. So, and then like the regular season games, they didn't beat them, and I'm like, yo, like they have to knock these guys off, and they did it. Um, Devin White was just amazing in that game, man. He turned that shit around. Um, the Green Bay game. Now, like once they beat the Saints, I'm like, yo, we gotta go to Lambeau and like, you know, I know Rodgers remembered the last game, so I know he gonna play good. But the rest of the team didn't. The offensive line did not contain our pass rush at all. Like they couldn't do much against them. Um, that was just crazy, man. Like, and then like I think that week when they announced the game, the Green Bay Tampa Bay game, you go online and shit, motherfuckers talking about the Buccaneers can't play in the cold weather, and I'm like, I done heard this shit before. This is when they played the Eagles. You know what I'm saying? Like when they played the Eagles 18 years ago, they were saying the same shit. They was like, "Yo, Buccaneers can't play in the cold. They can't play in the cold. They can't do nothing in the cold. Whatever." They said the same shit 18 years ago, and I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever." I got this coworker at work. I don't even talk to the guy like that, but I know he's a Packers fan. So this nigga was like, this dude was like, yo, he was like, yo, yeah, your team ain't gonna win on Sunday, and like I was like, all right, cool. Like I didn't even say nothing. I just gave him a little head nod, and I just smirked. I was like, whatever you say, man. But like he went out for a couple weeks, so he just came back this week. So he was trying to he was trying to what I mean, say whatever. But I'm like, dog, like your team lost, bro. Like where was you at this whole time when you know what I mean? Like, but but yeah, like the Green Bay game was crazy, man. That was man. I was in the living room. I was just going through it, man. I was just snapping, man. Like that was a crazy game. Like the Saints and the Green Bay game. Man, them games was crazy, man. Them games was crazy. But it was a lot of controversy at the end they when the Packers like they didn't go for the touchdown. Uh, they was inside I think was they inside the 10 yard line? I'm trying to think was they inside the 10. But I know that they had a chance to tie the game, well, score and then get a 2 point conversion. But the coach went for the field goal and they gave the ball back to Brady and they did not see the ball again. So that was a crazy game. But I see people blaming Rodgers. I'm like, yo, Rodgers played as well as he could. Like he just did his thing, man. But I think if he got the ball back at the end, like we don't know what could have happened, but this is Aaron Rodgers we talking about. He could have pulled some bullshit off. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad he didn't get the ball back. So Buccaneers won 31-26. Um, I was just like, I was calm though, like, cause usually like the old me, like, like I would have been raging on people, all that shit, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, this was just a crazy game, man. The Green Bay game was just crazy. Um, it was a lot of butthurt people on Facebook, YouTube, man. Like people was mad, man. I'm like, yo, man. If I could screenshot everything that I seen, man, like, oh man, that was some good entertaining shit right there, though. So we get to Super Bowl 55. Um, First of all, that was a long ass 2 weeks. Like, that was a long 2 week wait. So we get to Super Bowl 55 last Sunday. Um, I didn't really have no predictions or nothing. Like, I didn't even do no videos because I was just like, like we're gonna have to. They're gonna have to show everybody what's good with them, man. And that's what they did, man. Like they had to show up and show out. And they played on week 12, so like they got the blueprint. You know what I mean? Like they seen the Chiefs, the same. Well, not the same Chiefs because the offensive line was a little messed up, but they seen Pat Mahomes, Tyreek Hill. Like they seen this shit week 12. So I know Ty Bowles went back and was like, yo, we gotta do this differently. Just you know what I mean? We got Vita back. Yo, I already knew that the Chiefs were going to struggle against our pass rush. I already knew we had the advantage when it comes to our front seven. I already knew this shit. The Buccaneers fans knew this. We knew that going into this game, they had the advantage. What happened? They dominated from the first quarter to 0-0-0 in the fourth. Pat Mahomes couldn't do nothing. He was just running around. He's a hell of a player, man. He's one of my favorite players to watch in the NFL. And like, if I see people hating on him, I just be like, how the fuck you hate on this this young dude right here, man? He's a hell of a player right here. Like, have you seen him play before? Like, that's why I was like the whole game when I was watching the game, I'm like, yo, no lead is safe with Pat Mahomes. Period. So the Buccaneers, they they had to hold on, man, and uh, it was a defense. Brady didn't force a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like Brady was a game manager. Brady was a game manager. Like he didn't really have to do much in the Super Bowl. People, oh man, he didn't. Oh man, he didn't do nothing. He led touchdown drives. He didn't have to throw the ball all fucking crazy. All right, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin didn't even do that much. He didn't have to do much. Just hold on to the ball. Just run your offense. You don't have to do too much, especially in the Super Bowl. You don't need to have 5,000 fucking yards in the goddamn Super Bowl. Just don't turn the ball over. So people was complaining about the penalties and everything else. I'm like, yo, man, like, I mean, it is what it is. Like, this shit about to cut off me too, but I'm like, yo, this shit. I mean, it is what it is. Like, uh, um, once again, Devin White was just all over the field. Like, let me see this shit cut off on me. Okay. Yeah, so like Devin White was all over the field, man. He was dominant. Devontae David was on Kelsey. Kelsey got his yards on him, but Levante held up. The defense was Shaq, JPP was like all over the field, man. They were just Pat Mahomes was just running, man. He was like the goddamn road runner out this motherfucker. He was just running around. You know what I mean? We was we was Wile E. Coyote and Pat Mahomes was motherfucking the road runner because he was running around the goddamn field the whole game. The whole game, and they could not do anything. They can't do anything with him. You know, and like the Buccaneers knew, like they knew they were short of offensive linemen. But Andy Reid could have did better when it came to the game plan, like the play calling, because like they could have ran the ball a lot more than they did. You know, like they didn't really take advantage of that. You know, so that was a very very emotional day. Season for us because like we didn't know if it was gonna be football this year because all last summer they was like, yo, football might not even happen, and I'm like, you know, I was hearing something about they might play 8 games this year. So it was a lot that went on with COVID, man. Like it was just an emotional um, season, and it's been emotional for us because we done seen a lot of bullshit. You know what I mean? Like it was just crazy, man. Like, and I'm kind of glad that I started doing Bucs videos like 2014 maybe. I think I did a couple in 13, but I think I really started doing them in like 14. So that was the rough year. Like when they went when they went 2-14. I was just mad. Like I used to just be arguing with dudes, man, and then like they'll be like, yo, man, like your team stink and whatever. So I'm like, man, like I couldn't reply back to that. You know what I mean? Because so this was the first year that I didn't do a lot of Bucks videos. Because I knew that this team had potential, and I knew that with Tom Brady here, that they was going to be going that way. But I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna fall back, and I'm just gonna let them play, and that's what happened. And I just fell back this year. I let them play. Next thing you know, Super Bowl champions. Um, I was like, damn, yo, because after the first Super Bowl, like they did a lot to get that one, and I was like, damn, like like 03, 04, 05, 06, 07, 08, 09, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013. Like we've been waiting a long time just to get back. You know what I mean? And they made the playoffs 2 times before that, but them teams wasn't gonna do shit. But this team here that we had, man, man, it was just crazy, man. I was like, man, I was, man, it was a wonderful time last Sunday. It was a wonderful time, man. It's something that we can't that I won't trade it for, cause like we just been through a lot, man. Like we done went through the QB. Like the QB changes. the head coaching changes. Um, People was talking about get rid of Jason Light, get rid of Dirk Cutter, get rid of um, you know, just get rid of everybody. I'm like, yo, like we can't get rid of everybody like that. But I'm glad they kept guys like Levante and Mike Evans, and like we don't really hear much from them guys about the losing. And this year, man, like they was the first two dudes I thought about, man. I was like, yo, give them trophies to Levante and Mike Evans, bro, because they've been through it a lot. Brady, Gronk, them. I mean, like them guys were great additions, but they wasn't the soul of the team. You know what I mean? Like Levante, he just went out and just balled out. You know what I mean? But but it was a hell of a season, man. Like I was so happy for everybody, man. Like you know, just like all the fans, man. Like we had to hold on, man. Like I know it was rough, man. I know it was rough. You know, I know shit was rough for us. So um, so this off season we're gonna have a lot to talk about. Um, who they gonna sign, who should they draft? It's a lot. So, uh, I'm gonna come back in like another maybe 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks. Like I'm come back like a week before free agency or whatever, and I'm gonna see who they gonna pick up, who they can't sign, whatever, man. So we're gonna see what they gonna do this off season because it's shaping up to be like a crazy ass off season anyway. But yeah, it was just a wonderful experience, man. Like back in '02, like YouTube wasn't around like that. Uh, Social media wasn't around, so you know when like they won, just hey, they won, then you know what I'm saying. But when like we got a platform like this, YouTube or Facebook, whatever, man, you could go around see all, check out all the Bucs fans that that was happy, man. Everybody was happy, man. So I think that's it, man. Shout out to all the fans. Shout out to all the players, the coaches, the training staff, the owners, the GM. Shout out to everybody, man. Like, they the champs. And nobody can take that away from us. No matter how hard people try to shit on us or try to crap on us, man. Just nah, they won. Like you can't take the Super Bowl away from somebody because you don't like a certain player or whatever. Like, come on, man. There's guys that the Buccaneers took a chance on. They, most fans or even some teams and think still had it in them. Like Sue. People thought Sue was done. People thought JPP was done. People thought Antonio Brown was done. People thought Leonard Fournette messed up. And Buccaneers brought them all in. They brought in Gronkowski. They brought in Tom Brady. They had a hell of a draft. Jason Light been drafting his ass off the last 3 years. The last 4 years. He would drafting his ass off. You gotta give credit where credit is due. But I think that's it for my video. I went 40 minutes long. This is gonna be my longest video I ever had. And y'all have a good one, man. Like I'm just happy to be alive, man, and to like see the joy of you know the players and the fans, man. So that's what it's about. So I'm out of here, man. Y'all have a good one. Team Tampa Bay, Tom Brady, the GOAT. You already know. Uh, hopefully, 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 I get a laptop soon and start trying to live stream a little bit more. I need to get back to the live stream videos that I used to do before YouTube started bullshit. So hopefully, I'll get back into that because I do need to be talking a lot more now. You know what I mean? So this off season, it's gonna be crazy. Make sure y'all stay tuned with me. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell. Whatever y'all gotta do. And I'm out of here, man.